Hello, friends. This is Alia Jamal, the Love Coach, coming here for our 30-day series, Relationship with Yourself. It has been not going in consecutive order. I did take a bit of a break. I am back, and we will get to our 30 days of a relationship series with yourself, relationship with yourself. Today, we are talking about day 7, and today's topic is the way you violate your own boundaries. Now, boundaries is a big word. It's a big, big, big word when we start learning self-development, self-help. And a lot of people, when they come to the word boundary, they're like, okay, I need to create these walls around me so I can push all these people out. So these people who are toxic, they don't have access to me. Generally, that is the introduction you'll get to the boundaries. And then we'll get busy creating those boundaries. And then we will start telling other people, hey, this is where you're violating my boundary. You're toxic. I need to cut off from you. Sometimes it's very aggressive. Sometimes it's more passive aggressive. But as a healer, I'm a coach and also a healer. I'm always focused on the energy of things. I'm not really focused on what's happening in my reality. If anything is happening in my reality, in your reality, in my client's reality, I look where the root energy is. Not the root belief. Let's go to the root energy. And one thing, if you will start paying attention to that, whatever you're experiencing outside of you, it's going inside of you. If you have very shaky boundaries or invisible boundaries or no boundaries at all, and you find it very hard to say no to other people, you violate those boundaries within you too. It's not that you never learned how to create boundaries outside of you. You never learned how to create those boundaries within you. When you violate your rights, when you violate your well-being, yeah, the other person is doing that. They are calling you at 10 p.m. Because and you told them, don't call me at that time. I'm sleeping. The phone is ringing. You're waking up. I'm just giving an example. I know most of us, we keep our phone on silent these days. But how are you doing that to yourself? How do you do that within you? When your body is telling you to stop, but you don't stop and you keep going for whatever reason you're giving to yourself, I should do it, I should keep doing it. We all have a story that we are telling ourselves, and we stay stuck in that story. But if the boundary is being violated outside of you, it's being violated within you. And if it is being violated within you, that means you need to resolve it within you first. And every time you violate boundary within you, you're not checking in with yourself before you're saying yes to other people. You're not doing that check-in. There is a buildup of judgment and resentment within you. Yeah, of course, we say, like, we judge other people, we resent other people, but everything is coming from within you, from your inner world. Other people or whatever situation you experience outside of you, they are just a mirror to show you, hey, this is what's going on. This is what's going on within you. You're not going to shift it in the other person, you're going to shift it within you. That is how this universe is created. Our reality is created from inside out, not from outside in. We think it's outside in. If I am with somebody who really respect me and kind towards me, I'll be happy. But the truth is, when you are kind to yourself, when you respect yourself, you'll be happy. Anything that's outside of you, it's temporary. Whatever you create within you, that is what is going to be there forever. Of course, it requires everyday work. Now, let's come back to boundaries within yourself. Where within you, where in your life, whether it's your health, whether it's your wealth, whether it's your relationship, whether it's the way you wake up in the morning, the way you do your exercise routine, or the way you do work, where within you you are not aware of your boundaries. And if you're like, okay, I have never thought about it, what are you even talking about, Alia? Go within you, Take a deep breath, go within you and ask yourself, do I have any boundary with me? Do I have a system where I check in with myself, with my inner being for anything? Maybe you want to lose 20 pounds and you just signed yourself up for the craziest boot camp ever. Did you check in with yourself? Did you ask your inner being, hey, am I supposed to do it? Should I do it? Do you think I should do it? Is it a good idea to do it? The problem is we are so disconnected from our inner self. We live so outwardly. We live so much to validate whatever we've been taught. We live to seek other people validation that we don't even realize this disconnect. We don't even realize I don't have a relationship with myself. I am so worried about all my relationship with other people, but I never took the time to nurture a healthy relationship with myself. So now coming back to our example, check in with yourself. Maybe your body would say, hey, I don't want that. That's too aggressive. Why would you put me through that? Start with something small. Start with daily walk. You're going from being a couch potato to putting yourself in a boot camp just because your friend did it. If you will still go ahead and would sign up for that boot camp, yeah, you might lose weight. Might lose it. Everybody would praise you. Hey, you look amazing. And you'd be like, it's the grit and the discipline that I did it. Deep down, you will always be afraid of losing because you're not congruent with yourself. You violated a boundary within you. You did not check in with yourself. You're not in alignment with yourself. Same thing goes to when you're starting a relationship. The reason when the relationship goes south or sour, we are so devastated. It's normal to go through pain. It's normal to go through few days of feeling whatever we want to feel and eating tons of ice cream and chocolate. It's all fine. But when we feel like this relationship just finished me, when we feel that, the reason we feel that because we had no relationship within ourselves. We had no boundary within ourselves. We had no one to lean on to. There was no rock within me that I could lean on to. And when that foundation is not there, that is when outside boundaries get violated. And you're like, oh my God, I had no idea that I violated those boundaries because you never created them within you. So very quickly, I'll invite you to check in with yourself. Do you have a boundary within you? Do you have a system where you check in with yourself before you say yes to anything? Or do you just keep calling yourself a moron and stupid person and a lazy person and keep pushing yourself? Because those things are not true. You're none of that. You are a powerful being living through this human experience, but you need to make that connection within you. That is your work. That is the conscious work you will do. Hey, let me see. If I'm feeling lazy today, why? Let me ask myself what's going on. Why do I need to just sit here and do nothing for 5 hours? Generally, that is a sign of our bodies processing few emotions that we are not giving ourselves chance to process. That is when your body's like, just leave me alone. Do you have a boundary with yourself in terms of your rest, in terms of what you are allowed to put in your body? Do you have a boundary around that, or you let yourself eat whatever because that's what you feel like eating? So when you will start paying attention to creating these boundaries inside of you, outside boundaries will take care of itself. Because let's talk a little bit about peer pressure. I'm not sure if there's a teenager watching us when we go through the peer pressure of substance abuse, but I know it goes on for the rest of our life. Peer pressure is there even in our 60s. So let's say, I'll take an example. Let's say you made a choice that you are not going to put harmful substance in your body. And you always check in with yourself. You're like, I don't want to put it in my body, I don't want to put this in my body. And then here comes a friend, and all your friends, they are eating something that you generally don't eat. If you in that moment check in with yourself and yourself is saying, please, your body's saying, please don't put it in me. I don't want this. If that communication is happening, and then from that communication, from that energy, you tell your friends, hey, I don't need that. I know everybody is really good about eating clean these days. So if there is a salad or like, fries, you'd be like, oh, I eat clean. I'm going to go for salad. I know those things are getting us more points in terms of other people's eyes. They are getting us more validation. But let's think of something that is not that is not going to put you on a higher pedestal. Oh, look at her, how careful she is about her body. Let's say if this is something like, maybe the whole family is together, your mom made this amazing, delicious dish, but your body's like, please don't put that in me. I cannot handle that. You've been eating for past 4 hours nonstop. In that moment, do you have that inner strength within you where you're not going to care what other people will think of you, what your mom will think of you, and you can just say, you know what? I'm not going to eat it because my body's just saying, I'm done. Sometimes we say it just to, like, again, we are looking for that validation from other people. Everybody's going to say, hey, look how much control this person has. Think of you're on a bachelorette party. Everybody's having alcoholic beverages, and everybody wants you to join in and celebrate. And maybe, once in a while you do drink, but in that moment, you check in with your body, and your body's like, please don't put that thing in me. I don't want that. But then it's too hard for you to say no, and you manipulate yourself and you tell yourself, hey, I think I can do it. And then you just disregard that voice within you. In that moment, you violated your boundary, and that's why now you're violating the boundaries outside of you. Everything starts within you first. And we can take that example to so many different aspects of our life, even in terms of like, somebody's inviting you, you don't want to go, you're not checking in with yourself. And again, you're going with the validation, seeking validation from them. And that is a boundary you're violating within you. So your inner being is whole, it's intact, it does not need anyone else's love but yours. When that becomes your North Star, or when that becomes the anchor that keeps you grounded in your life, you will be able to create and keep the inner boundaries, and that would naturally create the outer boundaries. Now, I hope this conversation made sense. It is so much easier to talk about this topic when we are working with a real life situation with yourself. But I'm inviting you to just take this concept, just this one line. Do I ask myself before I make any decision or any move in my life? It could be like, I feel like having coffee right now. Did I ask my body if my body needs coffee? Or am I just telling myself I need to wake up and I have all these things to do, and I better, like, drug up my body, put like 5-hour energy drink or something to make this outside work uh, completed? In that moment, you're violating your body's boundary. But most of us adults, we have no idea we are doing it. And that is when we allow other people to treat us in a unhealthy manner, because we are treating ourselves in an unhealthy manner. So that is all for today. I'll be back again with day 8, another aspect of your relationship with yourself. I'm sending you so much love. Bye.